Welcome in. We're going to talk about this because we've got this. Online petition to redo Chainsaw Man gets 2,000 signatures. So the anime is very, very popular, right? So I was like, this is very strange. So to be fair, this is a very small group of people who are complaining about this, right? But the petition goes as far as to say they want to redo the entire anime. The production studio should start with a different director, citing dissatisfaction with the adaptation choices. Adaptation choices, like right off the bat, they're saying that not being adapted very well. I read the manga, and as I've stated before, I'm not a big manga reader, right? So, like, it sucked me in. I've actually reread it as the anime has come out. And I have to tell you that what little teeny things they have cut from the manga or from the anime is not very big. Hasn't been that much cut anyway, because so far the anime has been almost panel by panel to the manga, like direct. There are people on Twitter who are showing panels from the manga being translated and turning the panels over to show the anime versions of it. To me, this has been the most faithful adaptation I've seen in a very long time. But it's very rare, and I'm glad that more anime is doing this, but it is very rare to find an anime company that is willing to stick so close to the source material. And that's what they've done in Chainsaw Man. So right off the bat, these are just bogus. Some people just want something to complain about. That's kind of how I feel, right? Oh, always. Yeah, people want to complain all the time, you know? My opinion, all their qualms are unfounded. I agree that the anime follows the manga very well. Also read the manga, a bet. The animation is unique and true to the style. I also agree, because I was going to bring that up too. The voice actor for Denji, JP, was so good. And Power, oh my god, like, everyone's voice actor felt right. You know, it felt together, connected, right? Voice actors were on point. They were so on point. But the animation itself actually lends itself to the manga. It's so faithful to the manga that when you're reading the manga, you can tell that it's got its own style to it, right? They've actually captured that in the anime too. You know, some people say it looks kind of rough sometimes. That's how the manga looked. The manga looked kind of rough sometimes, but then also gorgeous with like the action set pieces, which is why also the action in Chainsaw Man is some of the best I've ever seen. Yes, I normally typically do not like CG in anime. I don't like anime that is primarily CG. It doesn't look right to me. A lot of times it comes off very uncanny, which is why I'm also not really looking forward to the Trigun anime. I'm just not. I know some people say that CG looks really good, and yes, it is a little bit more evolved than what we've had before, but it uses CG as its main look, right? Chainsaw Man uses CG in a way that transforms an action sequence to make the characters move fluid, and then there's layers on top of that. It actually looks like it was crafted for the action sequences in a good way. The models aren't framey either, which is normally a big issue with CG anime. It looks very framey. This Chainsaw Man doesn't do any of that, and it just looks really good. Like, the fight sequences are some of the coolest, most like high octane like fight sequences I've seen in anime. Probably, to me, kind of on par with what Demon Slayer started doing. Demon Slayer, when Demon Slayer hit those crazy action sequences, nailed it. Chainsaw Man does the same thing, except it does it in more episodes. Haven't read the manga, but the anime is definitely very good to me. The voice actors were amazing, right? And I have to say, guys, the English dub is pretty fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. The English dub...
Cause when I fight a dude, it's nuts or nothing! A testicle devil appeared and went apeshit on his nutsack, ma'am.
Even the English dub is having fun with this. Same boat for me of CG and Trigun. Trigun was my jam back in the day. Same. It'd be like taking Cowboy Bebop and doing a sequel or a spin-off series and having it be CG 3D. I feel like that's such a disservice to an older anime that was like handcrafted with the best 2D animation. Is that Better Off Alone? According to the petition writer, the anime is polarizing because the film-like direction undermines the manga's intensity and comedic elements. The writer cites Denji's lines that were cut from episode 1 and changes to Kobeni's battle scene in episode 9 as examples of the director misunderstanding the themes and foreshadowing in the original work. So, what the fuck? Okay, it totally went out of my playlist. All right, imagine you're sitting here thinking of the next thing to go, and then all you hear is this. What the fuck is that shit? Yeah, I hated every episode, didn't follow the books at all. Brad Pitt did so bad in the finale. The fact that they say that they hate the cinematic design, the manga author is a film buff. He loves film. And another thing, I saw a lot of people also complaining that the colors were too muted, right? It wasn't colorful enough. I don't feel like this world needs to be popping with color all the time. They try to reference like actually colored panels from the manga, because in the manga itself, there are a couple of pages in the front that are in color, right? And of course, those are very highly detailed and blah, blah, blah. The muted colors, the cinematic tone absolutely nails it for Chainsaw Man. Adding more comedic moments would completely just lose the feel of this anime. Because while the comedic moments are there, it is very dark humor. And I feel like that it needs to stay that way. When the dark humor happens, it happens in ways that does hit you. Everything that hits you in this anime, whether it's comedy or violence or sorrow, it hits you extra heavy because you are so sucked into the world. I have to completely disagree with the way that the tone and the look of the anime needs to be changed for some reason, because I think they nailed it. The petition further highlights criticisms of the anime's pacing, such as the claim that too much time is spent before the samurai sword arc. It also criticizes the casting of the voice actor for Denji in the Japanese, arguing that Toya's performance is too gloomy and doesn't convey how unhinged Denji is. I think the anime perfectly shows both sides to Denji. It shows, it makes you feel for him. You see his feral, unhinged side, 100%. You see when he gets upset, when he gets sad, when he's contemplating whether or not he actually has a heart. The fact that he's like 16 years old and he's known nothing, he's not gone to school, he's not been brought up in any kind of societal upbringing, he's basically lived in a shack in the woods since he was a child. You see him becoming integrated into society. Up until then, Gene put it the best way, Denji was always just 2 steps from being a feral child. And they also want to talk about no foreshadowing. For anyone that's read the manga, the foreshadowing is everywhere. If you've read the manga, you know, you've seen the endings, you've seen the ending, the songs and the endings and the animations. There's foreshadowing everywhere. Even in the opening, there's foreshadowing. So that complaint is just thrown right out the window. I think the problem is that there are still people who see a little bit of CG and they freak the fuck out. And I understand why, because all we have to do is remember what they did to Berserk. What did they do to my boy? Denji and Power have their unhinged moments when Denji is not being able to relate emotionally and Power is just being a demon, laughing at people's problems. Like, gotta just bring up, you know, Power laughing at Kobeni, where Kobeni's having an absolute breakdown, complete and utter breakdown, and Power just starts laughing at her. You're telling me there's no unhinged shit in this anime? It's all over the place. You know, whether it's Denji's lack to be able to connect and to feel that kind of emotion, or it's Power just being an absolute fiend, which she is. So, see what I did there? Demons being CG animation gives them an otherworldly alien look to them, which works in its favor. Yeah, and even that, they still have like hand-drawn stuff on top of it. That's the thing I like about the CG, is that it's used as like the bone structure, right? It's used as the internals, the vessel, and they draw on top of it. so the movement is hella fluid. Which, to be fair, in action sequences, you kind of need that. You need it to be, if you're going to do 3D with it at all, you need it to be fluid. And I think the reason why they also chose it is because if you go back and rewatch those action sequences, they are doing like Matrix style camera movement type shit. The camera's not always just in like one spot, whatever. Like the camera is moving around as they're doing shit. That's fucking nutty to me. Your granddad had home field advantage and still lost. Your whole family saw. You got shitty little dick. Thank you for watching. Remember that we talked about this live on Twitch, so there was a lot of stuff in between that you missed that was cut out that's not in this video. Come hang out on Twitch and you'll see me do these rants live before they make it to YouTube. So, but if you're here on YouTube, yeah, check out my Twitch when you can. That'd be cool. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel and share the video and like and subscribe and all that cool shit. And smash the bell and, you know, tickle the... Goodbye!